Hello, this is Diego Moya. In this video, I'm going to talk about a way to manage sessions using a module called Beaker. The module is listed here, and we'll go through it a little bit. But before that, let's have a quick reminder of how you can use cookies and databases to manage sessions. We've already seen this before in other videos, so I'll just repeat it again. So there will be the client, the browser, who would, on the first visit to the host, the first request, will make the usual request. And then the host would identify that there are no cookies, is the first request. So it would generate an ID, session ID, and that ID is going to be stored in a database, in a session database, in which in the database will include the ID and some other user information which might be necessary to create the space, the environment for the user. Okay, the ID is going to be sent as a cookie back to the host, and then next time the host makes a new request, it's going to send the cookie to the server, and then the server is going to check the cookie, the value of the cookie, against the database, and from there retrieve the session information and then use that to populate the web page and save it back to the client. And so on and so on. Each time the client is going to access the server, it will send the same cookie with the same ID, and in that way the server will have a way to keep state of the session and always return whatever is required for the client. So this is a common way to manage sessions, and we have seen how to do that before. It's not that complex, but it can generate errors, and sometimes it will take quite a lot of time to manage the cookies and the session database. And you must bear in mind that at production time, you must be very careful of all these, how to handle all this information. And you might want to use a more professional method. Somebody else will have developed this methodology in some packaged way. And for that, we're going to use Beaker. Beaker provides several services like caching. We'll talk about that in another lecture. But here we're going to focus on the sessions which are cookie-based sessions. Let's apply Beaker and sessions to one particular application, which is one which we have seen in another video. We have a new version of that program. This is the one about creating likes, a list of likes on our web page. So let's open a browser. Okay, let's first of all start this. Open a browser. I will open on incognito so that all the you see, so that all the cookies are clear. And let's open the inspection. And now start this on the page. Alright, we have this page about likes. This page doesn't have cookies, doesn't have sessions. What it's going to do is the first time you make a request to the page, it's going to ask for your name. So I'll say my name is Diego, and who do you like? I'm going to say I like Dia. And then when I submit, the application is going to receive the web form with my name and the like, and it's going to store the name, welcome back Diego, and the like. And now it's going to keep this information in memory in the application. And when you fill new data, then it will basically add the data to the form, and all that is being kept in memory. The actual code is shown in here. I have one file called state, and that file is going to keep all the information which is being recorded. And we have seen in a video how you can do this in a database. And that's a recommended way, but for this video I made it much simpler. I'm going to keep all the information in memory in the program. I have a variable called name. It has none, so it has no value to get started, and an empty list likes, and that's going to be used as a global variable anywhere in the program. So when you type a name here. My name is Diego. The function is called to main.py. Is going to call return a template. That template is index.html. This contains a form, and this form is going to ask for your name if it is not defined. So if it wasn't defined, what is your name, and then the like. Okay, so that information is sent like this, and then when there's a post request in the form, let's go back here. Right, it's a post method, so that's going to be captured. In the action is /like. That's going to be captured by this handle here with a post, and then you're going to get the actual name. And then if you find the name, so the first time you're going to find the name, it's going to be in the form. So equals to set name, and set name, what does is basically just set the variable name with the name, right? And then also is going to add the like, calling to add like in this module here, which is just going to append the like to the list of likes. And each time you add a like, it's going to call to add like and append it to the list. So by doing that, we have this behavior, which is working pretty well. And let's check on the cookies. So there should be no cookies anywhere. You can see here, no cookies have been sent, and you can keep doing like that. Okay, so state is recorded, but there are no sessions here in the sense that it is another browser. Let's just open a new browser. Let's use now Firefox. And then let's open an incognito tab in Firefox when this is started. And then you will see that, is this Firefox now? I'm not sure now. No, this is Chrome. This is Chrome. Oh, okay, Firefox is there. All right. Since I had another window open with Chrome, so hopefully it is the right one. And Firefox here, let's open an incognito. It's called private window in Firefox. And here we type again the same URL, and then it's using the same information, the global information, Diego, and well, all my likes. This one is several browsers, different people accessing the same application. They all will have the same information. There is no personalized experience. So let's try to handle that by introducing sessions, and for that we're going to use Beaker, as I was saying before. Okay, let's now use Beaker to add some session management to our application. So let's go back to the code here, and we have to use integrate Beaker in Bottle, and there is a way to do that. I'll show you how. Let's do a quick search. Beaker Bottle Python. This link here. There's some documentation that you need to import Bottle Beaker in your application, and then the example. This is a very simple example how you can use Beaker using Bottle, and for that you need to basically import Beaker from bottle.txt, import Beaker and Bottle extensions I was saying before, and then we create a middleware session using Beaker with some options. And in this particular example, we are saying that the cookies are going to be stored in a file, and it's going to be expired after this amount of time, and some more information. I think this means that it's going to save the data automatically. And then you basically, in Bottle, you will need to use this particular command. So let's use environment, bottle.request environment, and get beaker.session, and that in this case is going to be a session that is going to be seen as a dictionary, and whichever you add to the dictionary, you can specify some keys, whatever you want to add, all data you want to add to the session can be added to S. So in this case here, I think what it's doing is just doing a counter. So it's going to increment, so you have a variable called test, and then add one to the test. So each time you refresh the page, it's going to basically get a counter. So let's see how we can use that in our case. So let's go to the code here. So now we don't need any of these things. So what we have to do, so let's just delete these two lines. And each time you want to access to the session data, you need to fetch it by doing as I just said. Dot get Beaker dot session. And now we are going to, in this case, set name is going to set the name to the session. So let's just say session name. So as I say, it's a dictionary. It's like a dictionary. So let's set the name key and the value, the actual name which we are passing, like this. And just to be safe, let's create the list of likes. It is going to be an empty list. So far, no likes. And then something very important, whenever you update the session, you want to make sure that it's going to be saved in the session. So for that, it's like in database you use commit in the database. In our case, we use save. Alright, so that's for setting the name, and it's going to be the same with adding the like. So I will just do it quickly here. So let's fetch the session information. And then let's fetch all the list of likes. So let's fetch likes. We're using the get method from the dictionary. So just in case likes is not defined, here we set it to a value empty list. But just in case it wasn't defined, doesn't exist in the actual session, we're going to use get, so that if it's not there, by the default will be the empty list, just like this. Now you can append the new thing, and then session likes is going to be updated with a new likes, and save. And now for get likes, we just fetch the information. So it's just these two lines here. I forget name. Get name. And if it's not found, then return the none data, which means basically no value. So now we have done this. Let's modify main.py so that we use the right information. It is going to be very much the same, but we need to run the middleware as I was showing before in here. So let's just get this. Let's use session type memory, because in our case we don't need to store the cookies in a file, so it's just a session cookie, and all this can be deleted. So just this option here, and okay, the way we have it, we have this app defined by bottle, so this is just slightly different. Let's call it Beaker app, and here we say app. And then okay, looking at this again, is bottle.run app equal app. So let's say from bottle run, and that's the run from here. App. So app. And this should work. Just make sure that Beaker is added an extension, and just looking at this, apparently it is not. So let's check if it is actually installed. Yeah. So let's rerun the system. Let's try again. Okay. Let's see what it's saying here. After staring at this page, I realized that the error was probably something very simple. There should be no arguments to app, it's just a variable. So let's try again. All right, so let's see if it's working. Container server error, name request is not defined. Request is not defined. So let's go to here. I see request. I need to actually use the request from the bottle environment. I need to make it accessible. So where is it? I don't see here, but I see request. So I should say from bottle request. Import request. So now this is fine. Let's check here. There's a request, but it's not marked as okay. It's defined in here. So let's try again. All right. What is your name? Let's look at cookies. So far, no cookies. We are starting. What if I type name and like beer submitted? Then there is a cookie. This cookie is managed by Beaker. So it's a session cookie, and it's all working fine. So let's try again. So again, it's using the same cookie, and all this seems to work fine. And just to make sure that everything's all right, let's use the private window. Oh, not this. and it seems to be working. Let's say now this is Peter who likes ham, and it's a different session, different state, so they all managed in a way which is transparent for us using the Beaker module, the Beaker system.